First thing I want to do is touch upon religious teachings. To me, religious teachings, and I know what the orientation is here, so certainly I'm going to have a great interest in covering this particular teaching thoroughly, but religious teachings to me, in addition to everything else you believe, are a testament to human knowledge and history, because they've been around for thousands of years. And if the teachings weren't true, then they would be discarded, don't you think? Regardless of what religious value you want to put with these teachings, if these particular books, these particular teachings are kept around for thousands of years, they must be valid. Or they discard them. Why would you keep nonsense around? And so we have Genesis telling us, God said, "Behold, I give you every plant yielding seed that is on the surface of all the earth, and every tree which has fruit yielding seed, and it shall be your food." You're all familiar with that one. How about the Mormons? I get in lots of trouble with the Mormons because I always throw a Mormon Doctrine 89 in their face, and they don't like it. But I'm sorry, this is what it says. It says, "All grain is ordained for the use of man and of beasts. And these," referring to the meats, "has God made for use of man only in times of feast and famine." I mean, that's what it says. Famine or excess hunger. And that's what Mormon Doctrine 89 says, but I can't tell you the number of Latter-day Saints that are upset with me, and they don't want to hear that they're supposed to be vegetarians. I didn't write it. How about the Hindus? I love this one. Karmic consequences. The Hindus teach, and many of them are vegetarians, by involving oneself in the cycle of inflicting injury, pain, and death, even indirectly by eating other creatures, one must in the future experience in equal measure the suffering caused. Yeah. How about this one? Buddha says to become a vegetarian is a step into the stream which leads to nirvana. Teachings that have been around for hundreds and thousands of years. But my favorite one is this. This one is about my practice of medicine. It's about Daniel. You all know this story, so I'll just paraphrase it for you. It's about Daniel and his men. The men aren't doing too well, talks to the gatekeeper, says, "Look, I'd like to do an experiment." Right, it was not a double-blind, placebo-controlled experiment. But he says, "I want to do an experiment. What I want to do is I want to feed my men vegetables and water, pulses and water. And I want you to evaluate them 10 days later." And so he did. He evaluated them 10 days later, and he found the men to be healthier than those who continued to eat the royal food. I know of no passage in the Bible that talks about eating the Atkins diet, or the Zone, or the South Beach. But I do know a passage in the Bible that talks about eating what I teach and what Danny teaches. And that's because it's the truth. That's why the story is still in the Bible. If it wasn't the truth, they'd have thrown it out.